Mike, let's start here. There are people that are still drafting. Not many nights left to do it, but there are some people that are still drafting. Let's start with the draft strategy. Does it impact your draft strategy at all for Zeke?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, just the fact that I feel like it's more likely that he's not going to be suspended the 6 games than it was a couple days ago. You know what I mean? So even though it's the most likely outcome, it makes me move him up a few spots. Maybe I'm more prone to take him in the middle of round 2 instead of early in the 3rd round or at that turn.
Yeah.
I think I'm more likely to take that chance. I will say this, though. If he's going to be suspended and you have him, you drafted him, you want it to come soon because obviously playoff games are a lot more valuable than early games in fantasy. So worst case scenario is this gets delayed a month and a half, and then he starts missing games in the fantasy playoffs. So it's a tricky kind of area to figure out. Also, I mean, if you were expecting him to miss 1 through 6, which we were, his first 6 games anyway, you were preparing for that. That was one of the advantages of knowing when he was going to be out, was preparing, taking McFadden, Jaquiz Rodgers, someone like that. Now, if you took Rodgers expecting weeks 1 through 3 from him, you're going to use him weeks 2 and 3 now. It's hurting his value. So it's something you have to monitor. But obviously, if you have Zeke, you can feel pretty good firing him up against the Giants.
For some perspective, in that same War Room League that I was referencing earlier, 16 teams. I believe he went with the 8th pick or the 9th pick in round 2. So around 25 for Zeke Elliott,
That's about right.
Is about where I continue to see him going. Obviously, with some exceptions with tiny leagues or other leagues, etc. So I think pick 25 is about where I've seen Zeke go. Not sure it changes anything all that much. Now, as it relates to week 1, Mike Clay, because again, he is eligible to play week 1, and all signs point towards him playing in week 1. They certainly could use him. This is the one team that the Cowboys lost to twice last year was the Giants. How high does he fall in your rankings? Because this Giants run defense is not your run-of-the-mill run defense.
Yeah, he's 3. Yeah, he's going 3. I mean, he's just too good. He's going to get 20, 25 carries. He's going to get 3 or 4 catches in this game. Remember, they're going to try and utilize him more in that area. The defense is a lot worse than last year. They're going to have to throw the football more. That should mean more targets and potentially more value for him because obviously a target is worth more generally than a carry is. So I'm fine with him. I think Bell and Johnson are 1-2. After that, it's the Zeke show. If you have him, you use him. If you have McFadden, you do not use him. He's not even a flex option. You bench him.
I've completely removed Darren McFadden from my rankings for the point of this week 1. And listen, if we find out on Friday that this restraining order is not granted, and it looks like Zeke is playing week 1 and they're not playing week 2 through 7, then the Cowboys probably have no motivation to be like, all right, let's just ease Zeke into the season because it's a long 17 weeks ahead. It might be a 1 game and then sit out for 6 more.